السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس الجمهورية القائد الأعلى للقوات المسلحة.
El-Sisi has arrived at the stand where he's going to preside over the graduation ceremony. He's shaking hands with Supreme Command, the senior officers, top brass of the armed forces. The national anthem is going to be struck by the military band.
حرس شرف كتفان سلاح. حرس شرف دوران خارج دور معتدا مرش.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Beneficent and most merciful. The armed forces are celebrating today, this morning. The armed forces are celebrating the new fighters of the War College. This class is number 113, and another class from the Technical Institute of the Armed Forces. The class is named after late Field Marshal Abdul Halim Abu Ghazala, as well as the 70th class of the Naval College as well, and another class named after Marshal Alauddin Barakat, who was commander of the Air Force. And the military technical college is named after senior officers who have once been the commanders of this. University students are also being about to graduate as well. Graduates who, after having completed the civil university courses, have joined the armed forces to work within each one within his own theme or university speciality he has been specialized in. The ceremony is being honored by the presence of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in his capacity as the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. Now the ceremony is going to begin with exercises as well as displays of close combat fightings. Cyclists are now displaying their skills of cycling. Actually, cycling has recently been introduced into military colleges in order to build the physique of the new military fighters. More than 1,500 fighters, newly graduated students, are now coming into the parade grounds, sharing their karate skills and self-defense skills, and carrying sporting tools used in exercising. They are now showcasing the basics or the basic movements of karate. Basic movements of karate are being sported by cadets, newly graduate cadets.
في مواجهة المنصة مباشرة مجموعة من الطلبة الحاصلين على الحزام الأسود في رياضة الكاراتيه يؤدون.
Just in front of the stand are some of the newly graduate cadets who have won the black belt, who have attained the level of black belt, of getting the black belt in karate. They are performing on diverse gadgets like as the one we see here, in order to upgrade their performance, their physical performance. They show self-confidence and strength in performance.
وقد تحصلت الكلية الحربية على المركز الأول لدور الكليات والمعاهد العسكرية وكلية الشرطة، مما يعكس مدى الاهتمام بجميع الألعاب الرياضية.
Actually, the military academy, the military college, has won first rank in sports among all other military colleges and police academy as well. Now they are forming the number, the digit 113, which is the number of this class of cadets. Lorries, trucks are carrying some other groups of fighters who are performing diverse performances in order to show how professional they are.
ما نراه الآن جليا أمام أعيننا هو نتاج تدريب مستمر وعمل شاق لأبناء العالم.
This performance which we see now in a few minutes, which is going to last in a few minutes, have been the product of arduous exercises done throughout the years, the 4 year. Some bodybuilding champions show their own skills, how they display the high level they have attained, and elite elite forces scaling up and scaling down high buildings to show how they can storm and break into buildings in order to capture or to free hostages. Commanders, representative units of commanders of Egypt elite forces, fighter students are now performing free combat hand-to-hand, man-to-man combat, and some other group of students are now jumping into fire circles. It shows how this exercise shows how a fighter can storm a barricade which is at fire. Some other students have also got the basic course of paratroopers and the basic course of instructor commando, of commando instructors, elite forces instructor, how to be an instructor to others in commanders and elite forces. Those are the students who are now qualified, have now become qualified to the basic paratroopers course as well as the basic elite force instructor course as well. The third group belongs to the armored corps. This group belongs to logistics corps. From those high towers we see elite forces, representative units of the elite forces scaling up and down in implementation of the general command of the armed forces to develop education within military colleges as well as the technical institute of the armed forces, and having reinstated the system of specialities into the armed forces, students are now going to put on display a tactical situation, simulated tactical situation being put up by students to show each in his own speciality. Armed forces cadets, for example, are going to drive armored vehicles, and paratroopers as well as infantry. Each section of students of each section are now going to show each one his own section how they are going to perform their own basic skills. The commander of the tactical situation is introducing himself as Sergeant, Fighter Sergeant, and he's going to explain or brief the President and the other guests on the tactical or simulated tactical situation and how his own troops are going to address this situation in order to perform successfully its missions, the missions. Elements of guns, elements of artillery are shown by some guns here. The armed forces are also represented, the armored vehicles, self-defense. We see here a rocket launcher which belongs to the self-defense corps, some guns which belong to the artillery, as well as even the naval forces. Even the naval forces are represented here by a boat shown here at the far end of the ground. Logistics, all, even the engineering, are all represented here at this tactical situation. We would like to notify you that all elements taking part in this tactical demonstration, all of them without exception belong to students of the final section, the final year of the military academy, of the military college. Surveillance are reporting hostilities, first of all, to the other representatives of other units of the armed forces who are going to address these hostilities. Now, having uncovered those military hostile targets, the armed forces, each in his own speciality, are going to target the discovered or the uncovered targets in collaboration with the naval tactical elite forces of the Navy. We see here representative units of the naval tactical commando forces. To the left are preceding representative units of the surveillance units. The surveillance units are supposed to go before all these units in order to open up road for them, to make sure that there are no holes, no mines, no hostile units or no hostile troops of the enemy are lying dogo for them, lying in wait for them, for our troops. Mechanized forces, mechanized infantry units are going to proceeding now, and the army fires at them and they return fire. The enemy fired at them in order to block their progress, to block their headway, but they fire back at the enemy. Military vehicles, mechanized vehicles carrying mechanized infantry people. All troops are making their own tactical strides or tactical jumps, while someone of our troops, as shown by the tactical situation, has been wounded, and the medical evacuation group is proceeding towards him in order to evacuate him away. Yes, he has already been evacuated on a stretcher, as we see him here being carried by the medical evacuation team. Someone here, the commander of the army of the tactical situation, is announcing that the hostile enemy position has successfully stormed the defense position of defense and has raised the Egyptian flag on the hostile enemy. The armed forces, ladies and gentlemen, are making a vow of allegiance to the Egyptian people, to everyone living on this land, that this flag of Egypt will never be lowered, will never fall, will never be dropped, so long as we are still alive. The army will always be at the disposal of the homeland in order to secure the Egyptians, because the individuals of the army belong to women who only beget men. They are never pregnant with anything else except men, good men and virile and strong men.
عن قادة عظام من رموز العسكرية المصرية أطلقت أسماؤهم على الدفعات خريجي هذا العام تقليدا لما قدموه من أعمال.
Great commanders of the armed forces. We are going now to display a documentary which has been produced by the Moral Affairs Department of the Armed Forces on the great military commanders.
تحفل سجلات التاريخ العسكري برموز عسكرية مصرية مضيئة استحقت أن يكتب التاريخ أسماءها.
A galaxy of great military commanders who have gone down history as great leaders, including the Honorary Field Marshal Muhammad Ali Fahmi, who was the commander, was the first ever commander of the Air Defense Forces. Field Marshal Muhammad Ali Fahmi was born on October 1920. He graduated from the military college in 1939. He served in different senior positions and he supervised the process of building the missile war during the war of attrition in order to debunk the myth of Israel's air supremacy. And his name, Field Marshal Muhammad Ali Fahmi has given his name to the 56th class of Air Defense Forces. Now we come to the Naval College.
تولى رئاسة عمليات القوات البحرية أثناء العدوان الثلاثي على مصر عام 1956
Vice Admiral Nashed, whose name is being given today to this class of the Naval College, graduated in the Navy. His name has been given to the number 70 class of naval cadets.
التحق بالكلية الجوية
Admiral
في 16 من فبراير عام 1956.
Air Chief Marshal Ala Barakat has given his name to this class of Air Force military cadets.
1988 فاستحق أن تكرمه العسكرية المصرية بإطلاق اسمه على الدفعة 86 جوية.
Has given his name to 86th class.
رئيس أركان قوات الدفاع الجوي الأسبق التحق بالكلية.
Staff Major General Muhammad Saeed Suleiman has had his name given to who was Chief of Staff of the Air Defense Forces, has given his name to the other class of the military cadets. He was commander of the 8th Division, Air Defense 8th Division. And in recognition of his prominent role, his name has been given to 47th session.
وتصدع الأسماء المضيئة في سجلات
Prominent, illuminating names in the history of military. Among them, and on top of them,
أحد رواد
Field Marshal Muhammad Abdul Halim Abu Ghazala has given his name to this class of the military college.
العلوم العسكرية في الكلية الحربية.
He graduated from the military college in 1949, and then he shifted, specialized in artillery.
وكان من الضباط الأحرار.
And Field Marshal Muhammad Abdul Halim Abu Ghazala was a member of the group of liberal military officers who staged the July 23rd revolution in 1952.
تكبيد العدو خسائر فادحة.
He has taken part in all wars against Israel, and until 1971 he was director and he was commander of the entire artillery corps of the Egyptian army until the decisive battle came in 1973 at 2 o'clock, when his artillery heaped hellfire on the army. Field Marshal Abdul Halim Abu Ghazala during the war was only a brigadier at the time, and he was responsible for one of the two major armies' artillery corps to destroy and debunk the myth of the invincible army of Israel. In 1974, Major General was promoted as Chief of Staff of the Artillery Corps. Then he was Chief of the Military Intelligence and Surveillance Department. Then he was later appointed by late President Anwar Sadat as Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces. And then, in 1982, he was promoted to the rank of Field Marshal Commander of the Army. As soon as he assumed the post of Defense Minister, Field Marshal Abu Ghazala took upon himself to develop the armament, to develop the weaponry of the Egyptian forces. He's now quoted as being interviewed by the television saying that Egypt's national security comes on top of all other priorities of the country. And commemorating this great man and recognition of his role in the military, this Field Marshal Abdul Halim Abu Ghazala has given his name to this class of technical officers and the entire military college class, illuminating great commanders of the army never ceased to exist. We have to pay tribute. Let's pay tribute to great leaders who have come down in history since ancient history. Ancient Egyptians, since musical instruments have been used in order to encourage and improve the people. We see the use of musical instruments being engraved on the walls of ancient temples. Now we are going to watch a display of military bands. The military band of the armed forces is going to put up a display of how musical instruments are being and playing some of the renowned and celebrated pieces, military anthems and pieces of music used by the army.
لوحة هندسية شكلها رجال الموسيقات العسكرية.
Geometrical shape constituted or formed by the people or the soldiers of the military band, which demonstrates how high the performance is.
وسنشاهد الآن مشهد النصر من أوبرا عايدة معبرا عن احتفالات النصر، ويتقدم المشهد العجلة الحربية، ومن الخلف المسلة الفرعونية. كون العازفون بأجسادهم رمز مفتاح الحياة، وعلى الأجناب شكل العازفون الأهرامات الثلاثة.
The ancient pharaonic key of life is being shaped by military band soldiers, and on both sides shows the three pyramids, the three great pyramids.
يعتبر الانضباط العسكري هو السمة
Discipline
الرئيسية
is a major characteristic of our venerable armed forces.
العرض العسكري.
And the best example of this, of discipline, of military discipline, is the military parade, which I'm going to display now. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Most Merciful.
فلما دخلوا على يوسف آوى إليه أبويه وقال ادخلوا مصر إن شاء
The
الله
internal announcer is quoting some verses of
إنها مصر
Joseph chapter of the Holy
التي أنشئ
Quran.
علم التاريخ كي يدون تاريخها.
Egypt, actually the science or the branch of knowledge of history, of chronology, has been invented, has been introduced into humanity in order to register the history of Egypt. It was Egypt where Allah, God, addressed Moses, when God asked Moses to take off his shoes because he was in the holy sacred valley of Tua in Sinai. Christ has also passed through Egypt, as well as the Muslims as well. Now, put up your head high, because you belong to a country like that.
طابور الأرض. أستأذن في بدء العرض.
تفضل يا فندم.
مجموعات العرض العسكري تستعد للمرور بالخطوة المعتادة في هيئة الاستعراض. 20 خطوة مسافة بين المجموعات.
in normal steps
الدوران للخارج. للخارج.
while turning outwardly to start the parade along the perimeter of the military ground.
معتدان مرش.
ها هم أبناؤك يا مصر، طلاب اليوم، ضباط الغد، قادة المستقبل، مقاتلو الكليات
Are
العسكرية.
parading their skills. They belong to the War College, the Technical Institute of the Military College, as well as the Navy College as well. On top of them, at the vanguard of all those institutions are color bearers. They bear the major colors, the major flags of the army forces. On top of them, at the vanguard, at the very vanguard, the bearer of the Egyptian flag, of Egypt's flag, and then other colors or flags of diverse corps of the army forces, and the president and all other senior top brass armed forces officers have stood up in appreciation of Egypt's flag, in respect of Egypt's flag and the diverse flags of the military corps, as tradition goes.
مر الآن من أمام المنصة المجموعة الأولى لخريج الكلية الحربية.
The first group passing by the stand are the group to be graduated immediately, who belong to the War College, to the War Academy.
المجموعة الأولى لخريج الكلية البحرية.
Then comes the first group of graduating cadets, who today will be carrying the rank of lieutenant, of acting sub-lieutenant naval officers, as soon as it will be declared by the relevant officer that the president has endorsed the graduation, and they are going to carry on their shoulders their own ranks. This group, ladies and gentlemen, belong to the Military Technical College. They are graduated after 4 years study as military engineers in the army, as fighter military engineers in the army.
المجموعة الأولى لخريجي كلية الدفاع الجوي.
Air defense cadets are just passing by. air defense. And we see, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi and the Minister of Defense is standing to show the respect to the newly cadets. The Technical Institute cadets of the Military College. Another group of the Military Technical College, another group other than the first who have just passed by. And we see parents and families sitting in the sand in rejoicing and overjoyed with the graduation of the sons. Another group representing the Technical Institute of the military, of the armed forces. Another group or third group of the military academy are just passing by the stand. Those two groups of the military academy, apart from the first one, the first are to be graduated, declared graduated today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the group just passing by are a group of the Civil Police Academy. Actually, the Civil Police Academy belongs to the Ministry of the Interior rather than to the Military of Defense. But since the two wings who protect the nation, the army and police people who had graduated just yesterday, on Saturday, the day before yesterday, are also parading their own people within that in a show of collaboration between the army and the police force. This group represents the Air College. They are going to be pilots for the Air Force, either as fighter pilots or helicopter pilots. A third group representing the War Academy. So the groups of newly graduate cadets are interspersing the graduates of the military academy. Actually, the military academy has been Egypt's oldest military institution. It was created. It was built in 1805. Egypt's military academy has been one of the oldest worldwide, has been one of the oldest in the Arab world and in Africa. Egypt's military academy was set up in 1805. It was once in Aswan, it was once somewhere else, and it has taken up this place, occupying this place at Heliopolis since 1953. Female graduate cadets are now passing. Female cadets who are graduating as doctors, pharmacists and other specialities within the army. They have to complete their own university studies first for 4 years and then join the military academy for a few months before graduating as doctors in the army or pharmacists or other specialities in the army. A mechanized vehicle coming to display the flag of Egypt. Families are rejoicing the graduation of the sons. Let's, dear audience, let's look at the grand parade, and let's at this festivity which is being repeated every year. Let's ask ourselves a question. This show of strength which is repeated every year wouldn't have been repeated every year and would be repeated had it not been for those great people who have fallen, have sacrificed their lives for Egypt. They are those who have fallen as martyrs are credited with this victory. They deserve to have the name chanted all the time, ever chanted forever. The military parade, ladies and gentlemen, is going to strike the anthem of the martyr. Everyone is standing, including the president himself. The military is striking Reveille and Last Post. Reveille and Last Post being struck, being played by the military band in recognition of those who have fallen as martyrs, who have sacrificed their own lives for this land to live happily ever after. The commander is shouting shoulder arms because arms have to be brought down during the anthem. Balloons are being released into the air, and each bunch or cluster of balloons is carrying the image, the picture of one of those who have fallen as martyr for this country. In recognition of their lives, in recognition of the fact that they have lost their lives for Egypt.
مصر من ولادها واللي فيها اللي حافظ على الأمانة وبأمانة ضحى ليها مصر مش هتنسى دوره لما كان خايف عليها.
مجموعات العرض العسكري جنبان سحب.
Side arms.
رئيس هيئة تدريب القوات المسلحة لإعلان نتيجة التخرج.
Now the chief of the Armed Forces Training Authority is going to make public the examination results of this class. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Most Merciful. He says the Defense Minister has already endorsed the following.
درجة بكالوريوس العلوم العسكرية.
granting the class of the 113 people of the War Academy be given a bachelor degree in military sciences.
ثالثا
And
طلبة الدفعة 70 بحرية.
granting the naval cadets will be also given a bachelor degree in naval science as well as a bachelor in air forces and military air sciences.
منح طلبة الدفعة 86 علوم عسكرية جوية درجة بكالوريوس العلوم العسكرية الجوية.
Military science or bachelor degree is also being granted on some of the other students. Technical military college will be given a bachelor degree in engineering as well as a bachelor's degree in military science.
ثامنا منح طلبة الدفعة 48 معهد فني للقوات
Military Institute cadets will be granted a diploma.
ولقد بلغت انطبقت عليهم شروط التقدم للامتحان من الكليات العسكرية.
The success rate or the rate of cadet passing the examination of all eligible students has reached 98% of those eligible. Shoulder arms, shouts the commander of the military parade.
تسليم وتسلم القيادة.
Now comes, ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony of handing over the command of the military college. The graduating cadets, a representative unit, some students or cadets representing the older students who are now graduating are going to hand over in a minute the command of the college to the ones who are going to graduate next year. The college, the military academy, has its own flag, has its own colors, which has to be handed over from the older, more senior students to the junior ones who are staying on in the college for another year until they graduate like this time this year. And then the one receiving the command of the college takes a vow that he's going to defend this flag until he dies. I take a vow of allegiance that I should keep the traditions of my college and to obey military orders of my college. The senior student is administering the military oath to the junior one as he hands over the colors of the military college to the junior one.
وهكذا تم تسليم القيادة.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the command, the older cadets who are going to graduate today have already handed over the command of the military college to the more junior ones, are going to stay on for 1 year, one more year, to the third year cadets who are going to finish or to complete their studies next year this time. Dear cadets, graduating cadets. Dear graduating cadets. The newly graduates, as they are parading before the stand, they are singing some of the well-known songs, national songs sung by Egyptians. sidearms.
مدير إدارة شؤون ضباط القوات المسلحة
Now the chief of the armed forces military affairs is going to declare the result once more and confer awards and medals on be appointed as second lieutenant under probation as of today. Appointing engineers as well as university cadets as well as female nursing cadets be appointed as second lieutenant under probation as of June the 30th. Appointment of military academy awards as dentists, pharmacists, veterinary medical officers be appointed as first lieutenant under probation. Technical military college be appointed as first lieutenant under probation as of June the 30th. Number 5, appointing naval college cadets be appointed as acting sub-lieutenants as of June the 30th. Air Academy, flight as well as air science be appointed as pilot officers and flying officers respectively. Number 8, appointing the cadets of the Technical Institute of the Technical Military Institute be appointed as second lieutenant under probation. Top achievers will be granted the Medal of Duty, of the second class in recognition of their devoted work during college, devoted study. Now he's calling out the names of top achievers from Somalia, from Egypt. People are coming, rushing and scurrying to the stand to be conferred these medals by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi. Engineers, Mahmoud Muhammad, he's calling out names of those of top achievers name. Medical university cadets who are graduating from the military college to be medical doctors or medical pharmacists or medical veterinarian doctors. Even females are going to be conferred medals as well. Now the top achievers of the naval force, of the Naval Academy. Even someone from the Kingdom of Bahrain is graduating as well, from Guinea. Air Force, pilot officers, they are appointed as of June the 3rd as pilot officers or second lieutenant under probation. And from Libya, Muhammad Idris Khattab. Libya. From Somalia as well. We have graduates from diverse countries, as diverse as Emmanuel, from Sudan, from South Sudan as well, from the Military Technical College. Lieutenant under probation. The Chief of the Military Affairs Department of the Armed Forces is calling names of top achievers who are now going to come before the President to have the medals and decorations be bestowed by His Excellency the President himself on them in recognition of the devoted and dedicated study at the college. Now the technical knowledge. Now another one from South Sudan. They are all coming now before the President. They are now going to queue up before the President, who are now is now given now medals. The army and the people have been intertwined together. The people highly respect it. The Egyptian people has always held the army in great esteem, in great regard. That's why most of the people are so eagerly interested to have their children sent to serve in the army. And in commemorating this affinity, this close affinity between the Egyptian people and its army, we are going to watch this documentary on the training given to people and how people have been fighting in their own diverse disciplines, diverse corps, the terrorism in Sinai.
ريحتها مسك وورد بلدي
انا من قبل ابني ما يدخل الجيش وانا بحب الجيش المصري جدا وبقول لهم ربنا يعينهم على كل شيء بيعملوه.
The film is quoting family members who have sent the people, they send their sons and daughters to join the army. It's they all agree that they hold the army in great esteem, in great regard, because it's the army who protect the land they live on. I'm really proud that my son is going to serve in the army. It's the army which is the den of lions who defend the land.
انت رايح من هنا مش رايح عشان يعني انت رايح عشان مصر ودي اهم حاجه يعني احنا نكون سعداء بيها يعني
We send our people, we tell our children when they go to join any military college, you are not going to serve in the military, not for me, but in order to protect Egypt. Another family member is quoted as saying, the army and the police have always been intertwined together in order to protect the country. I'm overjoyed. I'm overjoyed and rejoicing. My late father was in the army and my brother in the army. And now I'm so happy that my son joined the army.
واحنا كلنا فداء لمصر وكلنا بنحب مصر ومن اجل مصر بنقدم اولادنا فداء لمصر.
كده فعلا الجيش مدرسة للرجال وده أكبر فخر لينا.
The army has always been a school grooming men to defend the country. Musical, even the music they played, they have just played, makes you feel that it's your heart beats. I feel safety when I see army men, army people and police people.
هقول له كلنا فدا البلد دي عشان تفضل شأنها مرفوع. هقول له مصر أمانة في رقبتك. هقول له دم الشهداء أمانة في رقبتك. هقول له كلنا فدا مصر.
I'm telling my son that we all should be sacrificing in case of need, sacrificing our lives for Egypt. Now, the President and the Minister of Defense have stood in order to confer medals and military decorations on top achievers of the War Academy, the Naval Academy, the Military Defense, as well as the Military Institute, the Military Engineering, as well as the Military Institute. The President himself is pinning the medal onto the chest of every one of those top achievers for their devoted and dedicated study while at college. The President is still bestowing medals and decorations on those who have done a great job of their own work at the study at the college. The female cadets are being granted medals by the President. Nursing, she is a nursing cadet, has come a top achiever at the Military Academy. A naval cadet, a naval cadet is the last cadet from the Naval Academy. The first cadet from the Air Force has been appointed as a pilot officer or second lieutenant under probation. they are being conferred medals against a background of a national song being played. Still, the president is still bestowing decorations on top achieving students, top achieving cadets who have already been appointed as either second lieutenant under probation or first lieutenant under probation as of June the 30th, retroactively. Shoulder arms, shouts the commander of the parade troops. Shoulder arms. Now all newly graduate cadets are going to take the vow of allegiance, are taking the vow of allegiance. A senior military officer is chanting the vow of allegiance, as we see here on the screen, and they are repeating the vow of allegiance to the army. They take the vow, they are taking the vow of allegiance to be loyal to the Arab Republic of Egypt, upholding its traditions and defending, protecting their own country, either by air, on land, and by sea, either outside Egypt or inside Egypt, and to be obedient of military orders and doing as being ordered by my commanders and keeping my arm, my weapon. I never give it up until I die, until I taste death. Now have shoulder arms, shouts the commander of the parading troops. Now the director of the military college is taking permission from President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi to address the gathering. Now the military college commander is addressing the gathering. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, most merciful, Your Excellency President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi, the President of the Republic, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. Dear audience, in a great sense of pride, we are welcoming Your Excellency and the guests to Egypt's most venerable edifice and redoubt of military. The military college has always been pulsing with patriotism. You are now among your sons who are the knights of the military. They have already taken the vow of allegiance to defend our sacred land despite sacrifices, regardless of sacrifices. Your Excellency, your coming over here to attend the ceremony is a great honor. Carrying is highly significant. Our celebration today coincides with two revolutions, the July 23rd revolution as well as June the 30th. These two revolutions have fulfilled, have realized the aspirations of our great people. And when the people have assigned the armed forces to carry the flag and carry the color to lead the country, to be at the helm of the country, despite the fact that outside forces have been lying dogo, have been waiting to take over the country. You have unleashed reconstruction of the country and development in order to upgrade our country. Your Excellency, the President, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, in commemoration of our time-tested traditions and great eternal traditions, we are now celebrating a group of our loyal cadets who are fighters from the military college as well as, and we have chosen the best people to be assigned the best profession, which is serving in the best army. They have been groomed in accordance with delicate and precise criteria. They have been groomed in order to defend the country, despite and emanating, and they have also been groomed to fully understand the challenges looming over the country and the entire region. As such, we are making ourselves a vow of allegiance to you, to keep grooming people who remain adhering to the venerable values and abiding by the military traditions, and performing their duties and missions, and to be to adhere to self-denunciation, and they are disciplined. So, as such, they fully realize the goals, our national goal. Today's cadet is tomorrow's officer and the commander in later future. Your President, allow me, Mr. President, to offer my heartfelt appreciation to the general command of the armed forces for uninterrupted and support to the military academy, as well as former commanders of the military college, as well as teaching staff of all those colleges whose cadets we are celebrating today for having done the job, as well as directors of the military academies of Arab and African and directors of Arab and African academies who are present here. And let me also pay tribute to the police academy cadets who has taken part today with us, because we are the army and the police are the two wings who are protecting the country. And let's also pay tribute to our martyrs who have fallen as martyrs, sacrificing their lives and souls for the country. May Allah deliver the souls. Dear children, dear sons, your great people and your brave armed forces are looking forward to you today. They are looking forward to you, to see you loyal to your country and ready to sacrifice their own life for your own country, and to be the protecting shield for your country and to defend its honor. You are doing your efforts. You are clinging to the honor for which we live and for which we die. That's why you have chosen the life of glory and sacrifice. And with you, Egypt will have its own head towering high. Let me also pay homage, pay tribute to the families of those great cadets who are graduated today, for having instilled into your children the values of loyalty to their own country, to be great commanders of the army, to continue ceaselessly the march of great commanders at previous generations. At the close of my speech, I supplicate Allah to help Egypt, the leader and people and police of Egypt, to do the best, much to the welfare of the country, and for Egypt to remain the oasis of security with your arms. May Allah protect you all. May Allah protect you all, because it's Allah who is the best protector and the best guardian. Thank you so much. Your Excellency the President, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, allow me, Your Excellency the President, to make you a present of a copy of the sacred book of Allah, the Holy Quran, as a present to Your Excellency, for Allah to protect you with this copy of the Holy Quran. Now the President has taken delivery of this copy of the Holy Quran and ceremonially kissed the top achievers of the military academy. The top achievers are going now to give a memorial present to the President, as well as top achievers of civil university graduates as well, are all now coming to the President to give him a present in recognition of, yes, going up, making a present to the President.
تحولت سمتنا وتبدلت أهدافنا، وقد تعلمنا داخل مدارسها أن تكون رؤوسنا مرفوعة للسماء.
We have learned at the school that our heads should be towering high, and we have been instructed by our commanders that the soil of our country, the territory of our country, is even dearer than gold. Today, having successfully finished and completed our study at War Academy and all other military and civil colleges, we are making a vow of allegiance to your President that we remain devout to our country. And on this occasion, it makes us so happy to present Your Excellency the President the plaque, the coat of arms of our military colleges in recognition of your efforts for the country. The top achievers are making a present to the President of a coat of arms, or plaque. And the President is shaking hands with each one of them. Now, civil university graduates are coming all the way to give a similar gift to the President.
كم يسعدنا ويشرفنا أن نقف أمام سيادتكم اليوم ونحن
One of the top achievers of university graduates is making a speech before she gives the present to the President.
نحتفل اليوم جميعا بميلاد جيل جديد من حماة الوطن سعداء برسم لوحة وطنية مشرفة نفتخر ونعتز بها.
نقسم جميعا أن نكون يدا واحدة في سبيل رفعة وطننا الغالي وتقدمه، يد تبنيه وعين تسهر لحماية أراضيه.
شعارنا العطاء والبناء والتضحية.
Our slogan is to be devoted to our country in order to see Egypt as a leading country of the world. It gives us, we're so much delighted, Your Excellency the President, to give you, Mr. President, the coat of arms, the plaque of Egyptian University. Long live Egypt, long live Egypt, long live Egypt, long live Egypt.
أنا فرحان دايما ببلادي ولاد مصر كل الناس حيغنوا بلادي حتعيش مصر أنا فرحان دايما ببلادي.
And again the President is shaking hands with every one of them once more.
مجموعات العرض العسكري كتفا سلاح.
Show the arms. Your Excellency the President, you have always told us, Your President, when you were meeting us, that what you feel most about Egypt is from inside Egypt rather than from outside Egypt. And we are telling you, Your Excellency the President, don't be afraid for Egypt either from inside Egypt or outside Egypt, because Egypt has always been and will always remain guarded and protected by Allah, and after Allah it will always be guarded by the Al-Azhar and its national church. Egypt has always been synonymous with time. Egypt has always been time tested. Egypt has always been synonymous with time. When we have seen time as growing old, but Egypt will never grow old. Now the floor, ladies and gentlemen, is being given to His Excellency President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi to address the gathering. A new class being graduated. The officer who had just addressed you said that Egypt will always be protected by Allah. Well, what do you mean? You will not be performing your duties depending on God's protection of it? No. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, great people of Egypt, on this glorious day, glorious eternal day, when I'm visiting the den of lions, the den of heroes, as we have been in the habit of doing this every year, to meet the best people. We meet the cadets of military colleges, the young people of Egypt on whom Egypt has pinned great and high hopes on. Today we are celebrating their graduation to infuse new blood, a new generation into the arteries and the veins of the armed forces. They have gained the honor of defending the country. Our celebration this year is coinciding this year with the 67th anniversary of July the 23rd Revolution. The July 23rd Revolution, with its principles and its lofty objective, have written a great register of history. They have written, with this revolution, the Egyptians have gone down in history as great people for the country to live in dignity. The July Revolution has changed, has brought about a radical change in lives in Egypt. The Egyptian people under the revolution has achieved a lot and brought about radical change in Egypt's modern history. The revolution has laid the ground for another phase and ushered in a new phase in the history of the nation. Now, we have to say, we have to note that this great revolution of July the 23rd has not only impacted the internal scene, the internal landscape in Egypt, but it has also gone beyond the boundaries of Egypt to other peoples, other peoples who have been looking forward to stability and liberty and freedom. With this revolution, the Egyptian revolution has ushered in a wave of African and Arab countries gaining their independence. For those newly independent countries to fully control their own resources and develop its own personnel in proportion to challenges. Let me pay tribute. So on this occasion, let me pay tribute to late President Gamal Abdel Nasser, who led the July 23rd revolution in 1952, who carried the colors of the July 52 revolution in order for the country to gain its independence and achieve social justice for Egyptians. Let me also pay tribute to late President Anwar Sadat, who contributed to rejuvenating the revolution, as well as President Muhammad Naguib, who had struggled hard with great people to fulfill the aspirations of the Egyptian people, great people of Egypt. Today, we are looking upon our reality as a new episode, a new link in the series of historic events. Under looming challenges, we have been trying hard to build, develop, and change our reality into the better, in a way that we like. We are committed. In doing so, we are committed to our lofty objectives that Egypt should be capable of making the lives of its people a better one. In doing so, we remain committed to our consistent, invariable principles and in recognizing as well, while recognizing the new concerns of the world. The terror of abhorrent terrorism comes on top of priorities which we have been tackling in recent years. However, the sacrifices made by the armed forces and police are credited with our success at besieging and containing the danger of terrorism. We have destroyed and we have crushed all hot spots, hot places from which terrorism would always emanate. We are now demanding the world community is demanded by Egypt now to take its part in order to help Egypt defend itself against the terrorism. And the Egyptian people has proven that they are determined and will always remain determined to go further forward, to make further headway in order to tackle all challenges and difficulties. And within this framework, we are continuing to work on reform and reconstruction. In doing so, we fully realize that we should address long-standing crises which have always gripped the country. That's why we have adopted an ambitious plan for economic reform. This economic reform plan is based mainly on reconstructing the national economy to be based on production and to attract investments and to enhance the energies and synergies of young people. In doing so, we have achieved tangible results according as testified by the entire world. And here the one to be credited with these accomplishments is our people. The one to be accredited with these great achievements in carrying out the economic reform is our people. The one to be credited is our people. Allow me again, once more, to speak off the cuff. Now. The role of the Egyptian people, every time when we introduce a harsh measure of economic reform, either economic reform or reforming the system of security in order to protect the country against extremism and radicalism. Actually, in both cases, it's the Egyptian people who is to be credited with success. Now we have seen representatives of the police academy attending the graduation ceremony with their fellow colleagues from the army. Both of them have been doing hard work to protect the country. It's the Egyptian people who are to be credited. We as officials have only been giving instructions or some small directives, but it's you as people who have been doing the hard work. The most terrorism and economy, it's you who are to be credited with any success at fighting terror or at introducing economic reforms. I'm not telling you something you already know, because you are more aware of all these than I myself. We wouldn't have done so. We wouldn't have been successful at both introducing economic reform as well as fighting terror without you. Terror and economic reforms have been the most daunting challenges looming high and large of the country, and we wouldn't have been successful. I have seized and I'll be seizing every opportunity, every occasion to speak about this and to offer my thanks to the Egyptian people, everyone. I'm thanking every individual of the Egyptian people for having endured these harsh economic reforms, which have been so necessary, which have been indispensable in order to build a capable country, a country capable of going or proceeding further ahead. This has been the only option to build a country with which will always have its head towering high among other nations. We are not going to bow to anyone. We are not going to bow to anyone. We are not going to bow to bend our head to anyone. We are so capable. We are not afraid. We are not afraid of death. We are ready to die at any time. We are ready to meet or encounter death. Every honorable Egyptian individual is willing to encounter death, to die. in order to fight against those people who have no morals and who have no religion. They have no religion. They have no religion.
عشان احنا بس
They don't understand religion correctly.
كمان أبنائنا وأحفادنا.
But what you are doing now, not for this present generation, but also for the forthcoming generations, will keep building and working harder and harder. We'll be working on and on. And since we endure what we will be encountering and capable, I think that, and by virtue of God's ability, we are going to make further headway. My sons, cadets of the military academy, or other military institutions, let me tell you, on the first day of your military service, you are doing the most honorable mission. You are in defense of the country and fortunes of its people, in order to repel and ward off any aggression against people. In doing so, you are armed with great training, as well as the right doctrine, as well as the genuine military traditions of the army. As I have always known you to be, you will always remain great sons of great commanders, whom you have always regarded as great commanders. Let me congratulate you, both you and your families, and congratulate Egypt on having you as military officers. Let me pay tribute on this occasion to the souls of our martyrs who have fallen for this country to live. The lives which they have lost for the country have always contributed to the upgrading the country. And let me assert to the families, to the bereaved families of the martyrs, we will always remember them, and that the sacrifices of Egypt, of their sons, will always remain, will always be held in great esteem by the Egyptian people. Ladies and gentlemen, great people of Egypt, let me reiterate to you that we remain firmly determined to continue our path, to cross into the future, to carry our responsibilities in order to upgrade our great people in dear Egypt. And let me assert, to tell you all, that peace, security and stability are the real guarantors of upgrading the country. Hence, let me reiterate to you that I'm going to be in hand with you all to build, to continue building the country and take a further takeoff towards the future, with the depending on the awareness and full understanding of our people. We are going to remain banding together to change the Egyptian reality into a better reality. In conclusion, let me again pay tribute to you all and express my appreciation to you all on this glorious day. Congratulations, heartfelt congratulations to you all, and many happy returns when Egypt. Let's shout together, Tahya Misr, or Long live Egypt, long live Egypt, long live Egypt, long live Egypt, long live Egypt. The President has shouted, and everyone attending in the ground has chanted after him. Thank you to you all. Thank you. National anthem to be played once more at the close of the parade and the graduation ceremony. The national anthem of Egypt. Long live Egypt. Long live Arab Republic of Egypt. Long live Arab Republic of Egypt. shoulder arms, shouts the commander, having the music having already struck the national anthem.
رسمنا على القلب وجه الوطن لخيلا وجيلا وشعبا أصيلا رسمنا على القلب وجه الوطن لخيلا وجيلا وشعبا أصيلا